race for the White House heats up as the candidates turn their focus on jumpstarting the economy, I should say. Barack Obama, for example, proposing middle-class tax cuts of $1,000 for working families to offset the payroll tax they pay. But who exactly is the middle class?
Let's ask a guy from the upper class. Ben Stein, economist, actor, speechwriter.
I'm just a homely and humble worker.
And busy, too, because you are the author of Yes, You Can Supercharge Your Portfolio.
Very good book.
That's what I've heard. A word on the street, exactly. Now, Ben, when Barack Obama is saying, I'm going to cut the taxes for the middle class, of course, I'm going to raise the taxes for the upper class, who's he talking about with middle class?
Well, he's talking about people with incomes up to $75,000. That's a joke in most big cities in America. In San Francisco, L.A., Chicago, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Dallas, especially your city, New York, Boston. That's a joke. That's not middle class. That's barely above the poverty line for a family of 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm. So if you went out and asked Democrats or Republicans what their feelings were about what middle class is, they would extend that dollar figure
I think so. I think middle class is, say, from $50,000 to $250,000. And you may say, oh, my gosh, $250,000 is a lot of money. After taxes, after you pay for your basic education expenses, after you send your kids to a private school, after you pay for your property tax, it's not much money at all.
There's not much
it's very, very expensive to live nowadays.
It is, particularly in certain pockets of the country.
Very big pockets of the country.
Now, let me ask you about this. I saw on one of the debates, Barack Obama was asked, I think by Charlie Gibson at ABC, what are you going to do about capital gains? And right now it is at 15%.
Right.
Which is, a lot of people say that's about where it should be. Now he's suggesting he would jack it up to maybe 25 or 30%, perhaps doubling it.
Yeah.
What does that mean to us?
It means a huge amount in terms of retirement planning, because if you are retiring, you're going to depend a lot on capital gains from your investments to fund your retirement. Mm-hmm. If that's going to be taxed away, your retirement is in severe jeopardy. So I'm very worried about increasing the capital gains tax, unless you want to just increase it on people who are terribly wealthy. I have no problem with increasing the tax on people who have an income of $5 million a year or more.
Neither do we.
Like you two, I would say that would be it. I'm guessing that's your income. But people who have incomes in the hundreds and the low hundreds of thousands, people who have incomes in the 5 digits, it's crazy to increase their capital gains tax. People are in a retirement crisis, a major retirement crisis. We have something like 30 million baby boomers who have no preparation for retirement at all. We've got to get them investing. We can't tax away their gains. Otherwise, it's just going to be a catastrophe. Mm-hmm. I could see the retirement crisis being the biggest crisis in this country since the Great Depression.
Oh, man.
Really? Well, and also part of the Barack Obama plan, I think, is to increase the tax when you try to sell your home as well, which could affect, well, everyone, but retirees as well.
It's going to affect everybody. I don't think he's thought this through. I think he's a good man, but he hasn't thought this through, and I think he's getting advice from people who are more interested in envy and in soaking the rich than in helping the middle class.
15 seconds to plug your brand new book, Yes, You Can Supercharge Your
Portfolio. It's about how you can diversify your portfolio, foreign, emerging, foreign developed, small cap value, and commodities to get a higher return with less risk. It actually works.
Who's that guy in the picture?
That is my co-author, Phil DeMuth, who wrote 99% of the book, and he's a brilliant, brilliant guy. He's about as smart a guy as I've ever met.
What's your 1% contribution?
My 1% contribution is that photo. Yes, it's that photo on the cover.
And your name.
And my famous name, exactly. Ben Stein, superstar.
And supercharged with your new book.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.